Good morning. Okay, trying to get everything worked out. Trying to get best lighting, the whole 9 yards. I know it's 9 o'clock. It's not 7. We'll see if any of my West Coast friends are up. Hey, Farmer Meemaw. I'm drinking coffee. Water. I just put hot coffee in there, but I was drinking yesterday's coffee and it was cold. So I was just like, have it cold, have a coffee drink, but I don't know. All right, I'm really got to tell y'all. Good morning, Poppy Lover. I am burnout. I am burnout beyond belief. I'm going to complain and rant about keto. I'm going to rant about being low carb. I'm going to rant about sugar free. I'm going to rant about fat free. I'm going to rant about Weight Watchers. I'm going to rant about being lazy. I am here to rant and probably make myself another cup of coffee because that is bad. Anyways, I'm going to rant. I am so aggravated. I'm aggravated with myself, mostly, and then my situation. But I'm aggravated. And I'm confused. And I just don't know. I just don't know. Morning bust out laughing event. Cat stepped on the button for the lights out game. Yep, jumped 3 feet tall. Oh, I haven't done that one. Good morning, Eric Pardine. Good morning, Cassandra Pardine. Okay. So Farmer Meemaw says, bless your heart. I'm so sorry you're having such a hard time. First off, Farmer Meemaw, you look fantastic. You look fantastic. Absolutely. All right. So I am coming into the 2-year mark of actually being on pursuing weight loss and weight management. I have never gone this long being actively pursuing. I started 15 years ago, 16 years ago was the first time I walked into Weight Watchers. It was the first time I ever in my life got a grip and actually got a plan to lose weight. I walked in at 172 pounds. I got married 6 months later, 8 months later at 145, size 6. I was on top of the world. I didn't maintain. I got really relaxed. I didn't maintain. I maintained about 150, which was good. And then I went to work, and my husband was still in school. I had left school and I finished school, and I graduated, but I went to work. So we were apart, and I tend to have eaten, and I was in a really small town where there was people I knew of, but I just felt very isolated. And the selection was limited, so I ate. Good morning, House of Littles. Happy birthday. Girl, y'all say happy birthday to House of Littles. It's a birthday. So I only know that because it came across Facebook as I was looking at it this morning. Okay, so during that time that I initially did Weight Watchers, the first time in my life I was athletic. First time outside of like taking care of animals growing up. I was not athletic growing up. I refused. I sweat because it was hot. I did not sweat because I broke a sweat. And it was so bad. Here, y'all are going to find out something. When I was going to college and I'd have to drive into campus, I got banned from parking on campus. Banned. Okay, so you get your parking permit in May. By November, I was not allowed to park on university property the rest of the year. So until the following May, because I just made my own parking spots. I'm a little rebellious. I just made my own parking spots so I wouldn't have to walk. Anyways, I I got banned from walking on campus, and that was the extent of my walking. And then that was November. My husband asked me to marry him in December. I joined Weight Watchers in January, and I started walking. Because one, I had to walk. No choice then. I had to park off campus, walk into campus to get to school. So I mean, I was trucking a couple miles a day. And I started Weight Watchers. So there you go. And in that 6 months to my wedding, I ran my first 5K. I was doing 5Ks in the whole 9 yards. So then we got done being married. I went to work. By the time I just kind of got lazy, I wasn't running. I was really frustrated. And I got pregnant. I was 160 pounds. And my weight went up. I didn't lose my weight. I got pregnant again. My weight went up. And I had gestational diabetes. After that part, I went back on Weight Watchers. I lost the weight. Got pregnant again. My weight went up. Got pregnant again. My weight went up, and then I dropped the weight. So I've been doing kind of like I'd go 2 pregnancies, drop the weight, do 2 pregnancies, drop the weight. But the big part is like I've never had to maintain my weight that long because I was always pregnant again. And then it was kind of like, what do you do? I can't do anything. So I would let it go, and then I would start over again. In many ways, this has put me in a place that I've never maintained my weight for very long before I start gaining it. Now I'm at the point where my youngest is 2 years old and I am not pregnant. I've never gone this long. And it's making me really examine some of my problems. So I have been a long time, if you want to lose weight, do Weight Watchers. Period. Up until 2 years ago, and I was introduced to Trim Healthy Mama, and it was so bizarre to me because I was so programmed in Weight Watchers. It was so bizarre to me to go then and to do this whole carb fat separation, whatever. And I tried it, and I couldn't get it to work. And I went back on Weight Watchers. I kind of felt better. And, and then I kind of had a flop because I wasn't getting enough fat. And I went back on Trim Healthy Mama. And then I'm like, I give up. And then I go back on Weight Watchers. At Christmas, I was 152 pounds. At Christmas, 152 pounds. And then I've been real with you. I've been fluctuating ever since I got sick. My body kind of crashed from everything that happened in January, just like the house flooding, everything happened, kind of came together at once. And when finally everything kind of rested, my whole body just kind of crashed in January. I put 10 pounds on, and then I just can't get past it. I've been up to 175 a couple weeks ago. I kind of kicked back into keto. I dropped initial weight 2 weeks into keto. And today I got on there, I'm 170. I was down to 168, but I'm 170. It hit me this morning at kind of last night. At 170 pounds, I'm 18 pounds up from Christmas. Just from Christmas in 6 months. I mean, I've been fighting this 18 pounds. And it comes down to like being able to actually lose the weight, to keep it off once you've got it. All right, I got to say hi to everybody. So Mary's in the house. Compass Rose got here. Morning. I'm ranting, girls. I'm ranting. 13. Okay, so here's my girl, Erin. And let me tell you, Erin is tall. Tall. I can't wait to see her because I'm going to look like a midget next to her. She says, 13 years ago, I started as a size 12 at 5'10" in height. After having a baby every 2 years for all this time, I've been consistently hovering around a size 16, 18. I'm finally feel done having kids. My goal is 14. Mine is 8, just an 8. And I'm not an 8 anymore. I'm like a 10, and I'm buying stuff that's 12s. And I don't have a problem with that. But for my frame, I don't want the fat rolls. And even now, sitting at 170, which is pretty high, I'm sitting on fat rolls. You know, I'm just like, I get in there and I'm fat roll. Now, yeah, I can hide it really well. I look good here. I can't lose. I'm nursing, and I know the baby's worth it. I gained during nursing. I do too. I do too. So here's what happened. I've gone 2 weeks. I'm like, yeah, I'm back on keto. And I did the keto for 6 weeks. Last night we went to Outback Steakhouse. We also are not 20 anymore. I know. Amen. I know. I'm not 20 anymore. So I don't like the rolls. I don't care what weight it is, but I can't handle the rolls. And the other part I can't handle, from like 152 and today, yesterday my husband's like, let's build your chicken pen. Let's get your chicken pen built. So it's done, and we're out there and it's hot. It's hot. We're Florida. It's hot and humid. And I cannot do what I was doing 6 months ago. It's crazy. And it's like feeling that loss of ability is just, it's crushing my heart that I can't keep up like I was. Poppy says, yes, the rolls are what I'm dealing with. It's so discouraging. Yep. Aaron says, yeah, buddy, nursing makes your body hold those pounds. Yep. Mary says, the menopause belly. Ugh. Yes. Poppy says, I feel okay standing up, and then I sit down and bam. Well, you know, and that was me. I'm like stripping off and sweating, and I'm just like, what did I do to myself? You know, and I'm just there working, and I'm looking at myself going, what did I do to myself? And it's not just what I look like, it's how I feel. And I'm just kind of, And then I'm 5'5", 170, and I'm working on 20 pounds. Me too. You're right there with me, because I'm 5'6", that 1 inch. And what I'm working with, and this is what gets me. So you can do keto, and people do really well with keto, but you cannot go off keto and on keto, off keto and on keto. It's all or nothing, or you mess yourself up. And that's what I'm learning. Because if I'm doing keto full out, I am not hungry for carbs. I don't just hold on to it. I pack it on. I weigh exactly the same as the day I gave birth, and she's 6 months. Oh, Trish, is your body remembering that every 2 years you're pregnant and building up stores, feast and famine? Maybe. We went out last night. I had fish, steak, and a giant ham chop. Then I had ice cream. No biggie. I feel fine, and I'm back on keto. Yay, Farmer Mima, not me. Aaron says, I recently purchased clothes that are flattering to my size now. Waiting to lose weight before buying pretty clothes is damaging to self-esteem. No more frumpy mom. No more frumpy mom. I just bought a pile of clothes. By the way, Old Navy has a crazy sale. Today's the last sale online. I'm fixing to get a big old package in. And it's like almost everything's 50% off. Plus, there's a bonus 10% off. Plus, if you have a new email address, you can get another 30% off. I got all of those deals. I think I spent $100 and saved $200 or something like that. It's a pile of clothes coming in for $100. I'm just like, you'll see it when it gets here. I'll probably be like, look what I bought. I recently purchased clothes that are flattering. Okay, I read that one. My last baby turns 2 on Thursday. I finally started loading with a whole food, low-fat, plant-based diet. Down 20 pounds so far. I'm feeling great. Okay. So my rant about keto, and I'm just putting it out there. I'm going to have keto haters that are like, I hate you. Why would you say these things? Because these are my truths. These are my experiences. You got it? This is me. This is not Farmer Mima. This is me. I'm putting it out there, Farmer Mima. Just, whatever. You cannot go on, off keto. It has messed me up. So last night I went to Outback. I had a little bread. I had some blooming onion. I had a crouton, and I had a potato. I know, I had a steak. So I'm just heart glutton. I almost had broccoli, but I was like, I don't feel like broccoli. I'm having potato. I didn't even eat half the potato. I was kind of like, I'm good. That began the avalanche of carbs. I had no craving of sugar, no craving of carbs whatsoever before walking in. I came home and ate 6 Oreo cookies. I ate a handful of almonds. And it was just the beginning of the end. And I sat there last night, Farmer Mima was like, you know I'm loving some keto. I know, because it's working for you. I came home and I sat about and thought about it. You cannot, when you go keto, you cannot go carb, fat, carb, fat, carb, fat, carb, fat. Your body no longer is digesting it the same. And I notice the difference. The other part of the problem is my brain is so jacked up. My brain is completely jacked up because I don't look at food anymore. Now all of a sudden food is like not punishment, but like sin or glory. Sin or glory. Food is not called to be sinful. You know, you're not like negative, positive, negative, positive. To the point like I don't even know what to eat anymore. When I did Weight Watchers, I want to say I knew what to eat. I knew what to eat for that program. And I'm going to call it that. It's a program. I knew what to eat for that program. I knew what to eat for points, points plus, smart points. I've learned what to eat. Then I did Trim Healthy Mama. And it's like, flour is bad. Grain is bad. This is bad. I mean, to the point, I don't even enjoy food really anymore. It's just too confusing. And it's like, this sugar-free. And that's the other part about keto. If you are eating fake sugar, it messes with you. I know you should not be eating fake sugar. Y'all are going to get up there and be like, fake sugar is worse than sugar, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry to blah, blah, blah you today, but I'm on a rant. And it will mess with you that quickly and that easily. And in many ways, you have to be so pure. I feel like on keto that anything, little things can mess you up. And I felt it. I'm getting messed up by the littlest things. And I'm not enjoying food. And when I want to eat a brownie, I eat one of those stupid brownies in the mug made with almond flour. I'm sorry, them things are garbage. Okay, the Trim Healthy Mama okra one is not. That one's actually good. But the other ones, I'm like, they're not, I mean, I got something, but they're not as satisfying as I wish it was. Farmer Mima says, laugh out loud, not quite. I'm a slow loser, but that's okay. I'm losing. Never been able to lose before. Right. And so for some people, keto is like their answer. And every time I try to do it in the last 2 years, I get a little initial, but nothing long term. Claire says, Farmer Mima, I'm so glad keto's doing so well for you. Good for you. And I kind of like, well, I can always have a little carb and go Trim Healthy Mama style. And I'm looking at all these pictures of all these amazing women on Trim Healthy Mama. And I'm just like, not this one. Never. Precious Years. She says, I enjoy food. And so only way I can keep up is eating with moderation. That's why the 21-day fix worked for me, but got off the wagon and need to get back on. And I know a lot of people have done 21-day fix. Or that one and Whole30. Mary says, it's hard to stick to something when everyone else is eating differently. Yes. Erin says, it's a constant work in progress, but my oldest child is a girl and just hit the teenage years. That sent me to work setting a good example for her. I see her looking at me. Homeschool life with Shabby's chick. Hello. Yep, I have a 13-year-old girl, and I am noticing the same thing. Thanks for the reminder. So, sorry, I'm not. Hey, just tuned in. Have you seen the Indigo Nelly tried out potato hack diet? So fascinating. I'm going to have to look into that. Oh my word, I had a Diet Coke for the first time in my life last night, and it was delicious. Too bad I won't have it again. Give yourself some grace. Find what works for you. So that's the thing, is like finding what works for me. Here's what works. Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers has always worked for me. Maintaining it, I don't know. I mean, that is like going to be the whole new thing. But the sad part about it is I feel like I have to almost start over. And I was looking into like going to Weight Watcher meetings just to be held accountable in person with myself, because I don't want to make the time. But that's my big part, is I don't want to make the time and think ahead and think about things. Isn't that awful? We love Jones. That's our vegan in the club. I love her. She says, agree with precious years. I'm already vegan, so that's enough of a thing for us to do. We still do sugar and carbs, just no animal protein or fat. We have kept diabetes and cholesterol away. And then she tells Cookie Crumb grace is the key. Mary says, Farmer Mima, you have pretty much stayed with it for a while. That is awesome. Some diets work for some people and some don't. Peace and Pantry says, good morning. I'm trying to find something that works for me as well, trying THM. Right. And you know, okay, so after doing THM for on and off for over a year, I am so confused. I'm not going to lie. I'm just so confused on what to eat. It feels like you can pick a plan and anything's an enemy. Carbs are an enemy. If you're doing total carbs, then fiber is an enemy. Fiber has never been an enemy for me. Fiber is my friend. I need fiber. If you fell off, Weight Watchers is what will work. Do it. Right. Oh, if I feel, not fell. Hey, Trish, you should look up Sue Becker's Healthy Living Simplified. I'm almost scared to look up anything else. My brain is like, mush, it's done. You know, and so that's what I was thinking about. I was like, trying to figure out like what works and then stick with it. When did I feel the best? If you go back and look at my videos from 6 months ago, I was feeling it on Weight Watchers. I was doing it. I was having my protein drinks. I could calculate things. Now, there's the apps. Like, do I need to join a Weight Watchers group? No, because I know enough. But maybe I need to be held accountable. But then that means I have to get out of the house. Get out of the house is hard. All right, so she really does sum it up. All right, I got to write Sue Becker down. Aaron's got me writing Sue Becker. Aaron, you're going to get a crazy thing from me. Sue Becker. Wait, is that the grain people? Healthy Living Simplified. Simplified. She throws this stuff out the window. No, she really, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to watch her. If that's Sue Becker, I really like Sue Becker. If that's Sue Becker from the Becker wheat grinding, I mean, I really love her. I worry that my boys see me fret over food and always worrying about food and gaining that they are learning bad things and how they will later feel about women. Food is evil. Is that a YouTube channel or a blog? That's what Precious Years is asking. She's on YouTube. Listen, Saeed, I said your name wrong. I don't know. Precious Years. She was at FPEA last year. I think it is the same person. And she's the one that had the food mill grain thing going on, that she was serving everybody bread at FPA last year, not this year. To be fair, we are not thin people because we like carbs and sugar. So yeah, we are shooting for healthy, not thin. And I don't want to be thin. I just want to be healthy. So she is on YouTube. So I'm going to look up Sue Becker. I would give it up if I had to get out of the house. All right, so Sue from Bread Beckers. Yeah, Bread Beckers. And that's the thing. Okay, so that's the other part. So this whole journey, now granted, this whole journey and losing my house and moving around has really messed me up on top of that too. Because I'm going back going, what did I used to cook? I'm not cooking anything like I used to cook. I really am kind of throwing things together. I'm not planning. I'm not like, okay. Before I started YouTubing, back when I would blog. If y'all ever want to know the blogs I wrote, it's like midnightcrafters.blogspot.com. Or is it Midnight? Yeah, Midnight Crafters. And then I think I tried to start one just so Trish, but it was already, anyway. And then I kind of stopped blogging. If you go there, you will see the stuff I used to do. I am like my husband and I were talking about this. what I used to do and what I do now. Before, I would never use paper plates, paper towels. I hate them because they make more garbage. And then it's garbage I have to deal with, and I don't like dealing with it. You know, kind of zero wasting it. Um, everything from scratch, just to cook from scratch. I mean, before I knew about bread bakers, I would buy flour in 50-pound bags. We made our bread. We did so much stuff. And that was the way I cooked. And let me tell you, that was the way I love. Aaron says, I bought our meal 6 years ago and got really healthy. Then hubby figured out he had a gluten tolerant allergy and threw the monkey wrench in that. Yeah, that would throw a monkey wrench in that. House of Little says, with anything you do, you're going to plateau. And some plateaus last a long time. You can screw your metabolism going on and off different plans. Yes. Who all just Googled the potato hack diet? That's funny. Probably a lot of you. Lindsay said, I got on a kick with Nourishing Traditions and a Weston A. Price Foundation with the sprouting, soaking sourdough grains, fermenting all the things, etc. It was great, but I wasn't consistent. House of Lil says, on THM, they talk about long-term plateaus and doing fuel pulls to jumpstart your weight loss again. Aaron says, I think I have a food sensitivity called FOD MAPS. It's basically a starch intolerance. So I'm sitting at a crossroads right now. I'm confused. I have bought stuff like crazy for this plan, for that plan, for the other plan. And I'm just kind of like, what do I do? One of the things that has changed in the last 6 months is I don't exercise. So before, I'd go and walk every morning for about an hour. And my walking partner, her life has consumed her. So her and I are not walking. And I just find myself getting lazier and lazier. My tiny little abode here, look at this. That's it. That's wall to wall. That's one side of my house. That's the other. No, I didn't have to turn it far. It's just there, 12 feet. I'm not as active as I was, which thing makes things hard. And, you know, even though like you cannot work off what you ate in the kitchen, I'm really feeling the difference of by not working out, you don't make good decisions in the kitchen. Lindsay says, when things get confusing, go back to what you know and stick with it. If Weight Watchers is that thing for you, do it. Not every eating style will work for every person. Right. We Love Jones says, veganism encourages you to embrace carbs because so much of your protein comes from legumes and grains. So we just accept that because no meds now for 6 years is pretty awesome. Which plan worked best for you? Stick to that. You know, and that's what I come into is I will honestly tell you, probably the best plan I did that I've lost the most consistently is the points plan that is literally counting calories, fat, and fiber. Didn't take in sugar, but everything was low fat. You know, so you would constantly be pumping sugar into your system, which I didn't like that part, especially after doing the THM. I didn't like that part. And then they came out with Smart Points. And Smart Points actually takes in your saturated fat, not your whole fat, your carbs, and your sugar is how it's calculated, I believe. Maybe calories. I like that. But between the two, I mentally can do the low fat, high fiber calculation in my head and do it. But then I get so just like, I need my fat kind of deal. And so I'm sitting on a teeter-tottering of, do I go back to what I've known and did over the years? Or do I go and try to do the new one that I was trying to getting a grip on kind of deal? And then at one point I was like, or do I just count calories and make good decisions again? But at this point, I don't even know what good decisions are anymore. It's like so much information. My brain no longer knows what to do with it. It's too much information anymore. I mean, have y'all gotten to that where it's just like, I'm so confused. Aaron says, I used to be a fat vegan back in the day. It's because I lived off vegan junk at the time. This was the college years, though. I have a girlfriend. She's always like, listen, I'm a junk food vegan. Yeah, she was a junk food. No, she wasn't a junk food vegan. She was a junk food vegetarian. So essentially, she just ate macaroni and cheese all the time. And then she decided to go vegan to do it. Laugh out loud, every year there is more vegan junk, it seems, too. Too much processed stuff now labeled vegan. I think that's everywhere. Everywhere. Cookie Crumb says, start a food journal. That is my biggest thing. When I started with Tansy, what did I tell her? Do a food journal. And I was thinking about that today. I'm like, I need a food journal. Because as much as the apps are really nice, like one of my favorite ones is the iTrack Bites is a good one. I'm not a big shop for apps person, but I bought that one and several of the links inside. And I could do the regular points and I can do a lot of different things. So it's like, Lindsay says, raise his hand. I get so overwhelmed with all the information to the point of decision paralysis. I'm living in decision paralysis. Yes, what one diet allows, another diet doesn't. Hard to keep it all straight. What's good, what's not. Too much to keep straight. It is. It is so much. And, you know, my mom and I were talking about it this morning because, you know, my mom has done a great job, but with getting the weight off over the last year that she took herself out of diabetes. But at the same time, losing weight is easy. Keeping it off is so much harder. So I can't tell you I even have a solution. You know, because I'm like, if I'm going to do the old Weight Watcher points, I might as well just count calories. And then I don't know. I don't know the solution. I'll tell you what I did so far today. Last night, I was like, the number one thing I probably really need to do is get back to walking. And I went and so I'm like, I should go at 6 in the morning. And I went at 6 and I was in bed. At 7, I was in bed. From 7 to 7:20, 7:15, I sat there and laid about the fact that I should be doing this, but I didn't want to do it. By the time 7:20 came around, I said, oh, I could have already had half of this done already. I should be walking. So I got myself dressed and I went. Let's see. I gotta read. Here, Poppy says, yes. What one diet? Okay, then Lindsay says, and our brains are designed to make connections, yet we have to detach the connections between the various diets. It's counterintuitive to our design. Right, and that's exactly what I'm running into. It's just messing me up. You have to find what works for your body. I agree. I would never be able to keep up with points and calories. That's why I love keto. I know. I don't want to do it, but I know that it works. We Love Joneses says, you are in a season of life where Weight Watchers might be exactly what can get to eating better by simplifying stuff for you so you can rock other parts of your life without sacrificing this. Yes. I need to get started walking too, but it's so hot. It is hot. It is super hot. Maybe drop the focus on dieting decision paralysis and just get back to walking or basic exercising. We're on the same place. Stephanie, yes, it has been long. I'm so happy you're here. My husband and I were able to maintain our weight. Then we moved across country and went through some things and gained half the weight back. Life happens, stress happens. Yes. So that's what I did this morning. I sat there and I laid there and I'm like, you know what? Get up and go get it done. And I'm going to tell you, I'm so lonely to do it. I'm absolutely lonely. I don't want to pay attention to how many times I've gone around because I've walked this like loop. How many times I've gone around. So I'm looking for podcasts this morning, trying to download podcasts so I can listen to podcasts. And I kind of gave up and I was like, who do I have to call? So I called my mom, put my mom in my ears. She was not in the mood to talk this morning. I did not let her off the phone. I was like, whatever, you can sit and listen to me. And I spent the time talking to my mom for almost an hour. And I got an hour done, and I was just like, yes, yes. And I'm like, well, okay, that's the first thing I need to do. That's step one. Step one, I need to do this. And I feel like the only way I'm going to do it is early in the morning. And the other part too is I'm going to start working and being out of my house almost all day, every day, 5 days a week very soon. Very, very, very soon. And I am scared that this could make me with my health or break me. And I don't want it to break me. And how am I going to get exercise in? And so I'm a little bit going, all right, Trish, you got, 1 more week, 2 more weeks left in June. It feels like June should be over already for me, but it's not. But I feel like I got 2 more weeks in June. I've got the month of July. And then August 1st, it's just a slide right into the school year. We're going to be there working. So I'm just like, I need to get into practice to get up and exercise, to get up and go walking, even if it's by myself. I need to get up and go. And so, because I'm going, what is my schedule going to have to look like in order to do this and get the kids ready to go to school? And it's going to be probably 5:30 in the morning is the only way I'm going to be able to do it. And that's a big call. And at the same time, it's like, is that worth it to me? I could talk myself out at 5 a.m. not to get up and work out. Why am I doing it? So I'm doing it. I'm doing it so that I can be healthy and enjoy my life with my kids and enjoy doing stuff instead of getting so lazy. Mary says, I'm 62 and can't get rid of weight. My knee is going crazy again, and I can't walk now or exercise or anything that involves knees or standing. Oh, Mary, you got to do something. At that point, you got to just start with your mouth and what you eat. Claire says, yes, it's hot, 107 on Sunday. The heat and humidity has been horrible in Georgia. It's bad in Florida. We are like canoeing because of all the rain. You made it in the morning. Savannah's watching while on the treadmill. We were talking about that. Me and my kids were talking about that. If I had room for a treadmill, I would be on it. And I would have my treadmill in front of my TV. I'd get up in the morning and I would do the treadmill and watch the news. I love watching the news. And I almost feel like that would be like my best way to do it. Misty says the heat and humidity is horrible here in Texas. Creating essence. I have 5 little kids at home, a huge garden, animals, and I homeschool. The only time I can exercise is 5 a.m. Getting up is worth it. You are worth it. There's my heart. I love you. You're right. It is. And I mean, and to be honest, like I didn't want to get out there and start doing stuff. But once I did, I felt so much better. So my big part is, what am I going to do from this point on? I kind of with you. I love it. I need another treadmill. And when and if we move and we find another place, that's going to probably have to be one of my expenses. And I like to walk away the pounds, in a small space. But at the moment I turn that TV on, those kids are right up in here. So in order for me to exercise while we're living in this tiny spot, I'm going to have to go walk outside and walk around and be done. Until then. And then one day, maybe it'll be better. I love Leslie Sandstone. But we're working, and hopefully this is not going to be too much longer living in here because it's more like surviving in here, not living. Hi, everybody. Let's turn those thumbs as blue. Yeah, give me a thumbs up, please, if you're liking my morning today. And sorry I started so late. I need to start getting up that early and going to bed earlier. I have a bad habit of staying up till 1. I'm kind of that way too, and I'm bad on my phone. And then I realize I'm sitting on Facebook doing nothing but wasting my time. There's nothing even there I want to see. And some of that I feel like God's calling me, kind of like, hey, I want to talk to you, and you're just distracting yourself so you don't have to listen. And I'm like, I think I'm doing that. So today, I don't want to say I blew it today because I started out with a workout bar. first thing this morning. It was about 130 calories. I grabbed a handful of almonds. I've had a cup of coffee with a splash of half and half. You know, so I might go sit down and write all those things down and get back in that habit of writing it down. I think I'm going to go back into Weight Watchers. I kind of want to go to meetings, but at the same time, I feel like I might end up going back into Weight Watchers on the old one and just do my best to stay off sugars and stick to high fiber kind of thing is what I'm looking at. I know I'm just burnt out. I got 18 pounds to lose again. Folks, that's half my weight. I put half of it back on. I hope y'all don't mind me doing live feeds over videos, but I'm not going to lie. With the way everything is, it takes a lot more work to film something than to sit and just have a conversation with you on whatever I feel like having it. You're Superwoman. You will do it. I don't feel like Superwoman. I'm feeling pretty devastated. I'm pretty devastated. You know, and it's hard because you get on YouTube and you watch women who are like, this is how you get it done. And, you know, and I feel like even the homeschool moms, you know, so I've been homeschool YouTubing for a long time. And I've been homeschool YouTubing for a long time, 2 years. And you'd think I'd know some stuff. And I do know some stuff some days, but there's a lot of women that are, I had somebody call me. I just want to show her that I'm on a live feed. I mean, I know, but I'm just like, I'm on a live feed kind of thing. And I'm watching, you know, some amazing moms, and I'm just like, you've got it so together. And I wonder, why don't I have it that together? All right. I'm sending her on a live show. Call you back soon. Sorry. It's somebody I haven't talked to in a while. You know, and I'm just looking, and you know, it's like I'm not gonna be one of those people that I'm not gonna come to you and be like, hey, I got this all together. I think I'm just like, hey, let's struggle through this together. That's who I am for you. I'm gonna tell you what I've learned. Sometimes I wish I was the know-it-all I want to be, but I'm not. Poppy says, I seem to not be able to food journal. Seems I never have time. Maybe it's more I don't want to see it on paper. I'm struggling to get journaling. Me too, and I want my journal to be pretty. Otherwise, I'm just not interested. Aaron says live streams seem to be better. Where's my little thing? Oh, there, it's the bar. I thought about going on a wheat belly diet. I love the live feeds. I tried a live feed yesterday. They're hard because you don't know if anybody's going to show up. Steph says, I have 3 kids, homeschool, and I feel like everything is so stressful I can hardly manage. That's how I've been feeling. And I will tell you, I'm probably in a better spot because one of the things I've learned, I've been trying to go to like classes on like non-toxic wellness on a budget kind of thing. And what I kept learning is that what I've come to realize is my brain is starving for omega-3. And I took some omega-3. I started taking omega-3. And it's like the anxiety just drops, which is huge for me. And like my brain is starving for anxiety because of the anxiety. Or I'm having anxiety because my brain is starving for like what it needs. So I started taking omega-3. Can I just tell you how like amazing that has been for me? All right. I know. Live feeds, love the live feeds. Drink your water. Yes, Claire, I know. I love the live feeds when my schedule works. I love the live feeds when my schedule works. Having it all together is a lie. And how many, okay, and I have some sweet people I love dearly. And I mean, I remember when they began growing on YouTube that are just blooming bigger. And I mean, not to be like, I've been doing this 2 years and they just bloom so much quicker than me. And not that that's any one thing or another. But they seem to have it all together. And I'm just kind of like, I don't. I mean, maybe tomorrow I'll talk to you guys about homeschool burnout right now. Because as much as I'm like, you know what, this is so hard to handle. We're going to go into private school. I'm going to teach at the private school. I go to the homeschool convention. I'm like, oh, I miss homeschooling and I'm not going to do it. This is killing me. If I didn't already commit, I wouldn't be doing it. And then as I'm getting ready for the private school, and I'm like, I'm only getting ready for 4 subjects. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is enough. I'm so glad I'm not homeschooling. And then like, I really was like, could I mentally get my brain in the game to homeschool this next year? And I'm like, I don't think it's there. And then that's really hard too. Those ladies that look like they have it all together probably don't. True. Don't believe social media. And you know, that's the other part too, is like, I could be like, how to have your homeschool organized. And I'm like, what a joke. This is like the ideal, not what I do. Because I'm just not that organized. Most people, I think, have the same feeling. Every other mom has it together. Someone just said that to me, and I look at her like, you're crazy. They edit out the truth. Very good. I think so too. I can't keep up with the feed. Y'all are talking so fast. That's great. They edit out the imperfects. Don't feel bad. I don't either. I wish I did, but I don't. I used to be one of those people that could juggle 10 balls at once. Since my husband's passing, life has changed. Oh, girl, I bet it has. Bless your heart. Homeschooled self is rarely the problem. It's the lack of self-care that makes the whole ship go down. Amen. That's my ship going down. Misty says, thank you. Sorry, Misty. Nuts. Kids woke up bummed. I got to go because I'm loving today's live chat. Keep at it, girls. Celebrate the good, healthy victories. Don't punish yourself on the fails. Truth of the matter is, there is a behind the scenes on YouTube that folks do to gain subscribers. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. I don't think I have the stamina to keep up on it, though. And I was looking at like how to turn YouTube and podcasting into a business. And I'm like, I don't think I wanted a business. I thought I did. I don't think I do. I was maintaining around 136 pounds on keto before I found out we were pregnant with number 3. Now I'm off the rails with food and just eating to satisfy my cravings. Grace, you nailed it on the head. What is it? So I'm going to get off here. I'm going to make some phone calls. I'm ready to buy a house. Girls, I'm ready to buy a house. A big one. I'm gonna buy a big house, a huge house. I don't know. I told the lady, I went and met up with the lady who's buying our house. She's like renting it and buying it. Closing date, she's moving in early. I don't even care. I'm just like, yay, move in it. Somebody living in and love it. I walked in and didn't even feel like my old house. I told her, I'm like, get your house closed so you can close on this one quick. I'm ready to go shopping. I want to buy a house. Precious Year says, I agree. We need to take care of ourselves for us and not make excuses with our other tasks. Got to jump off, but you will get back on. You look great. I'm faking it, girl. I'm faking it. Hey, and if y'all don't know, Precious Years is the creator of Homeschool Panda, this new app for actually like an in-app on your computer thing that you can keep all your homeschool stuff on. It's really cool. Steph says, I am starting anew today. I have been eating so bad for the last 2 weeks and I feel like crap and probably gained 5 pounds. Oh, so hard. I love sweets. I know. Aaron says, I calculated hours. It's more than a full-time job to be truly successful at it. At least in the beginning. Oh, that's for YouTubing. Yeah, I agree. And like sometimes it's like I need a break. I saw a video to edit from the homeschool convention. I feel like it'll take me a month. Mary said, my doctor told me I'm not eating enough. If I am not hungry, it's hard to eat. I do drink a lot of water. Okay, if that's the case, Mary, go on a high-fat, low-carb diet because then you don't need to eat a lot and you can eat just enough. What a weight off your shoulders that will be once your house closes. I'm telling you, we're 6 months out supposedly at the most. It could be longer. But I feel like, y'all keep praying. I feel like once she gets moved, her house is going to sell. And then she'll close. And then we'll do like a, once that's closing, we'll make her go through and do the closing. So she'll close on her house and close on our house like within a day. And maybe I'll have set up on a zoo house and I'll close on my house in a day. Big house, then you can hold a mama gets fit to get together at your home, right? Being a short person, not large frame, my personal ideal weight is 135, 140. My doctor said he'd rather me be 120, but that will never happen because I look emaciated at 130. You know, build muscle. Build muscle. I was looking at a house, a 6,000 square foot house. You know you live in tiny when 6,000 sounds good. And that happened to a girlfriend of mine. They were living really small with a pile of kids. They built a 6,500 square foot house. And now she's like, I'm a slave. All right, so I'm going to get off. I'm going to list out what I ate today. I'm going to food journal and start tracking. I think I'm going to be on tomorrow if I can have the time. I don't know what time I'll be on tomorrow, but I'll be on tomorrow sometime. I think I'm going to gripe. I think I'm going to have a week of rants. I'm just going to rant. I know what I'm going to rant about. Tomorrow I'm going to rant about people who hate kids and don't want children, but want to call themselves parents. You know, dog parents and cat parents. That really got me going yesterday. I'm going to be ranting this week. So the week of rants, when I feel like getting on here, I'm just going to rant about something and we're going to get on about it. All right, girls. I love you all. Y'all definitely are help for me. You've put me in a better place in my heart that I needed. Oh, wait. Misty said, I thought about going tiny. I did go with a smaller. Then when I lost my house, but I was going to go smaller. Then I thought that where would I put all the school stuff? Listen, I have too many hobbies to go small. That's insane. Claire says you keep things real and that encourages us. Oh, but you guys encourage me. Erin says your chit chat was a blessing this morning. I can't wait to hug your neck, Erin. I'm so like, I can't even begin. I'm counting down the days to see Erin. I mean, Erin was probably one of my beginning YouTube people I followed, and then she got off of it. But it's just like, Erin makes me smile all the time when I think of her. Like when we would do like, she would be like, I got Trish hair. And I'm like, I got Erin hair. Steph says we are 5 people in 800 square feet, can hardly breathe. Girl, I'm 8 people in 728. Can't breathe. Erin says, how about those people who trip over a large family staring? Amen. Have a great Monday, everybody. We will listen to my rants on. Thank you, ladies. Oh, geez, I missed the coffee chat again. I'm sorry. Hugs and have an awesome day. Thank you. Sorry I missed the chat. I got on. I know. Convention reunions. Okay. I'm getting off this time. Goodbye.